My grandfather formed the circle of knowing in the hopes that through the a- accumulation of knowledge, through the accumulation of knowledge, Eorzea might be saved from disaster foretold. A band of champions brought together by a common goal to lead our realm to a better tomorrow. Though our means may differ, I would like to believe I do him proud in undertaking this new endeavor. Heretical harassment. Minfilia appears eager to welcome you back to Revenant's Toll. Greetings, Lavenza. Alphino tells me all is in place to begin his trial company. The Scion shall certainly be grateful to have the support of such an organization. The inaugural ceremony is set to take place here at the Rising Stones. Tataru is cooperating with Alphino to see that all is in readiness, so I'm afraid the recruits themselves have been left to their own devices for the time being. Quite a number of new faces have arrived in Revenant's Toll of late, and I wonder if Slaffborn might not find himself overwhelmed. Would you speak with him and see if there is aught he requires? Do I swear sometimes, like, before and after you pick up a quest, dialogue will change. Alright, Mr. Slaffborn. What have you got for me? What can I do for you, Lavenza? I thought you'd have your hands full helping out with this new arm of the Scions. Ha! I barely noticed your recruits arrive. 'Twas barely a trickle compared to the flood of treasure hunters we have passed through here every day. While I appreciate your offer of aid, 'tis more your burden that concerns me. I'm told this trial company will answer directly to the antecedent, so I trust that means less work for you in the long run. Slaffborn, the shipment, we couldn't... Gods, woman, what befell? We... We were bringing a shipment to Revenant's Toll, provisions earmarked for the frontier effort. But just as we sought to cross over into Mordona, we were set upon by brigands. I believe they may have been heretics. They were many, too many. We only escaped with our lives by abandoning the supplies. Pray forgive us. There is naught to forgive. Provisions can be replaced, but smart soldiers are hard to find. Take your rest, and I'll have someone along to tend to those wounds. What to do? If heretics are involved, then this is like to be more than a case of simple thievery. Ishgard will need to be informed. Whence did these supplies originate? House Fortin. We collected the provisions from Camp Dragonhead proper. Understood. I shall see that they are apprised of this development. Lavenza, were you not on good terms with the Knights of House Fortin? I will be sending them a missive immediately, of course, but I would also have you travel there and offer your considerable talents. Yes, I recognize I contradict my earlier hopes to lighten your load, but I need someone who can help bring this incident to a satisfactory conclusion. Our favorable relations with Ishgard are far too important to risk half measures. Thank you for your understanding. I am certain Lord Brochefant will be glad of your assistance. I've never so completely failed in a task, but those heretics, they fell upon us like wintry demons. Okay, and then... Yeah, Kurthus. Or I can just teleport to Camp Dragonhead. I almost have the mindset of somebody that's new to the game. You know, have to travel by foot. No, not you. Well, well. If it isn't my fine friend Lavenza Shark, would you care for a plate of roast caracol? Some mulled wine? No? Ah, I see you have not come into my hall merely to escape the biting cold. I was, in fact, on the verge of opening an urgent missive from Revenant's Toll, and I suspect the timing of your arrival is no coincidence. When the cold sets in, Lord Brochefant awaits confirmation of the reason for your visit to Camp Dragonhead.
The incident with the new frontier hands? No, no, you need not elaborate. I have been following their progress with no small amount of interest.
I don't always know when to bring up that pop-up. Sometimes I don't want it covering up what's going on, so this takes a little bit longer.
Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurthus soil. Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this endeavor. Never let it be said that House Forton does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts. 'Twas in the spirit of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say, yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart. But though I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth name. What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve. The brigands have not yet been so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait? Halone's blessings be upon you! Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons, it might be otherwise. But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long. Should you learn aught of value, pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
That word is pronounced implacable. I'm pretty sure I've mispronounced that as implaceable at least once. Because I recognize that word is coming up as at some point. All right, so White Brim Front. So we're starting onto the Ice Heart stuff now, which is cool. Yeah, so the 2 point, or not the 2.3, the 0.3 patches always like conclude the storyline of that expansion. And then 2.4 is when it starts to lead. I wonder, are we in 2.4 now? Or I don't think so, from what I recall. And really, like 2.0 was really, I think, kind of the end of its story. Like, I don't think it really extended past that. Like 2.x is almost kind of like a series unto itself. At least so far in what I know coming up. Lavenza, welcome, welcome. You'll be pleased to know that the repairs to Stone Vigil proceed apace. We shall rebuild sure and strong, that the Dravinians might batter themselves senseless against our shield in the west. I would venture, however, that matters of masonry are not what brought you to Whitebrim. On the trail of a band of thieving heretics, you say? By the Fury, but you do seem destined to cross paths with those villains. I must confess, then, 'tis a sad truth that the wilds hereabouts have indeed grown thick with their number. They strike swiftly, without warning, and are canny enough to evade our most able trackers. But 'tis not merely their newfound organization that confounds us. The heretics themselves seem somehow changed. I know not what manner of influence this ice heart wields, but the men we face seem utterly lost in the grip of righteous fervor. 'Tis an unsettling and unnatural zeal. Perhaps you would care to question one of their recent victims. As fate would have it, your arrival came moments after a traitor was waylaid on the road. A patrol found the unfortunate fellow laying senseless in the snow and carried him to our infirmary. Assuming he has regained the use of his faculties, the merchant might recall some small detail that could aid you in your task. I wonder, like, it got me thinking, how these heretics or whatever, he says they've got like an unusual or unnatural zeal or whatever. And I never actually thought, like, does Iceheart, Shiva, does she temper anybody? I don't actually recall. I mean, given what this dude just said, like, oh, infirmary's upstairs. I would think, or I would lean toward yes, but I can't remember any actual examples of it. But again, it's been so long. Tell you what happened? Why, yes, of course. I am quite recovered enough for that. Anything to help catch those cowardly Blackhearts. I was traveling my usual route to Whitebrim Front when a sudden blow sent me reeling. The next thing I knew, I was on the ground, and several heretics were rifling through my cargo. Arms, armor, crystals. They were taking everything. 'Twas then that one of them noticed my blurry gaze and stalked over to better acquaint my head with his mace. Before darkness claimed me, however, I distinctly heard the words, "Return to Snowcloak." Ooh, are we going to do Snowcloak? I dare say that is where they were hauling my goods. But you'll not catch me rushing off in pursuit. They They tell me 'twas a miracle I survived at all, and I'll not trust my thick skull to save me a second time. I like Snowcloak. I like the music in there. It's very kind of chill or relaxing or whatever. Which again is like another one of those places where it's very relaxing music, like in like an action oriented scenario. Ooh. Surrender the crystals. Your end is come. Whatever. My life belongs to the lady. I can kind of get that. I can kind of get that. Ysayle is, I think, in the list of best girls. Less so for me, but I know she's there. Many do like her. Okay, God, draw your weapon, foul. Wait, I recognize you, adventurer. You are come seeking heretics? Then we share a common purpose. We were on patrol when we chanced across one of their raiding parties and pursued them here. By rights, we should have had them cornered in this ravine, and yet they are gone, vanished like icy wraiths. Ooh, there she is. Look up, look up. You glimpsed a woman atop the cliff. Could it be Iceheart herself, come to sneer at our folly? And to where did she disappear? The heretics must have discovered a passage through the frozen wall, some hidden tunnel that escaped our notice. We have not the men to risk further investigation. 'Twould be best were we to return to Whitebrim Front and lay our suspicions before Lord Drillamont. Oh, come on. Dude, I can go in there. I actually look forward to doing another dungeon because we haven't done one in a while. Like, I was expecting, I mean, we did like Praetorium and Castrum, but that's different. Because I was expecting when we were last in Corthus to like I knew Aram Vale was optional, but like Zumail Darkhold or something, like I was, oh cool, are we gonna do that? And then nope. So you can't just tease me like, oh, Snowcloak, and then let's go back. Lavenza, it appears I owe you my thanks once again. The surviving knights spared no detail in their report. The men you found out near Snowcloak were some of my finest. That they should be bested so handily, I fear I have woefully underestimated the threat these heretics pose. While I understand you might balk at the notion, I must ask that you put aside your mission and consider the stolen provisions lost to us for now. 'Twould be ill-advised to blunder unprepared into what may well be the very lair of our enemy. Oh. Pray return to Dragonhead and inform Lord Brochefant of your discoveries. He will wish to plan contingencies of his own. As for Iceheart and her fanatics, the freezing heights of Snowcloak will not shield them from our justice for long. I want to do Snowcloak. It's like I'll just queue up anyway. Yeah, I actually think I prefer the latter way of doing dungeons. I don't recall. I think Stormblood still had optional dungeons while leveling. And I think probably also in the patches. I know that all of Shadowbringer's dungeons while leveling were a part of the MSQ. I kind of want to say even the ones in the patches, but I'm not sure. But I like it just because, especially like right now, while I'm just barreling through MSQ, it's kind of a nice break, you know, to do a dungeon.
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody. But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart? Indeed, and this transpired at Snowcloak? Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate. So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order. Putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Given the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action. Though Iceheart's true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
That was an interesting cutscene. Just how it started out and the camera angle, like him getting up and then camera angle kind of like looking you up or looking you down. And then the shirtless dudes in the show. I was like, what are they trying to tell me here? I mean, obviously, there's the difference in the dialogue between English, Brochefant, and Japanese. And maybe that's something that plays a little bit different in the Japanese dialogue. Pray tell the frontier hands to fret not over stolen supplies. 'Tis but a pittance compared to the rewards we shall reap for having a solid stronghold in Mordona. I look forward to getting into Heavensward. Because just like A Realm Reborn, like I've forgotten a lot of that expansion. Because a lot of people talk about like how great it was, and it like I remember going through the leveling part and being like, wow, this is really good. But then after that, it just I don't remember like my take on it. Lavenza, 'tis good to see you return to the toll. How fared you in the frozen wastes of Kurthis? House Forton is to send us a second shipment? I must send thanks to Lord Brochefant for his continued generosity. Yet, even as our town grows in prosperity, I fear it will attract ever greater numbers of those who would do us harm in the name of greed or power. All of us, Alphino's new recruits included, must remain vigilant against such threats. Thank you all for watching. This New Game Plus playthrough has been a lot of fun. If you've enjoyed it, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And to watch me live, the link to my Twitch is down below. Thank you again, and have a great one.